Philip to Evelyn, 13 July 1944. Dearest Evie, this is my first letter in 3 days. On the 11th, just as I was about to settle down to write, my dinner suddenly decided to disagree with me. I fought nausea the rest of the night and was only relieved after eating a whole package of the extra strong peppermints we get in our rations. Last night, since I had had no mail from you on the 11th or 12th, I decided to write to Harry W. and our Jack. Don't get me wrong, Chippy. I didn't pass you up because I was sore about not receiving mail from you, although I wasn't very happy about it, but because I really had nothing of moment to write about. On the other hand, I was most anxious to get off letters to Limey and Jack. Limey thinks he may be able to get a leave and had asked me to arrange a meeting, or at least to tell him where to meet me. I thought it wise not to let any grass grow under my feet in this matter, and sent off the information he required. I am now waiting to hear from him and hoping he can manage to get up to see me. Unfortunately, I cannot go to him, much as I'd like to. Brother Jack, in his letter, seemed a bit concerned for my welfare. I thought it might be a good idea not to waste any time reassuring him. His letter, written on D-Day shortly after he heard the news of the landings in France over the radio, arrived on the 11th. I remember complaining to you on the 10th that I couldn't understand why I hadn't heard from him in so long a time. Apparently, he was under the impression that I owed him a letter. Anyhow, sweet, after finishing the 2 letters, I was pretty tired, but because it was only 8 o'clock and I still had time to catch the USO show at the Base Theater, I decided to forego writing to you another day and catch up on a little relaxation and entertainment. The show was swell, but I won't give you the details here because I just finished telling Dot all about it in a letter I just sent off to her. As I told her, I hate to repeat anything in writing, and instructed her to call you and read you certain parts of her letter. She'll probably read it in its entirety anyway. That bit about the dance should interest you, baby. It was really something. Watching that gal made me awful lonesome and homesick, more so than I've been in a long time. I think you'll understand why when you know the contents of Dot's letter. As you know, sweet, I have been pretty busy these last few days with the payroll. I finished it early yesterday afternoon. Today, which was the lull between the enlisted men's and the officers' payrolls, was a dull one, and I took advantage of the break to get off that longie to Dot. This afternoon, I counted the minutes until the mail should come in. I thought there would surely be, page 2, something for me today. However, when the mail did come in, there was only a handful, and not a single letter for yours very lovingly. To say I was disappointed would be putting it mildly. The post office is all balled up. We keep getting other outfits' mail by mistake. No doubt ours is going astray too. In filing some of your letters yesterday, I noticed that I am missing quite a few of June's letters, some of them in the early part of the month. Wonder if, excuse it please, I'll ever get them. The newspapers claim a good bit of my attention these days, and I'm following developments of all fronts very closely. On the whole, things look very promising. I can imagine how the news must be affecting all of you at home these days. No one can deny that things are rapidly approaching the climax, but how soon it will come, no one can say for sure. But they can't keep us from dreaming, can they, baby? I can't think of another single solitary thing to say, Chippy, so I'll sign off now with all my love to the sweetest, swellest girl in the world, and her daughter and mine, the inimitable and adorable Adele Barra. Long may she wave. Good night, my darlings. Don't forget to give my love to all the rest of the Strongans, their relatives and their friends. Tell Mom my conscience is bothering me something awful at the delay in getting at the letter I promised her some weeks back. But she owes me a letter too. Ask her how she feels. Bye now. Yours ever lovingly, Phil.